Hello and welcome to News Central Now. I'm Dashen, Usman. The headlines. 22 pupils killed, scores trapped in Plateau school building collapse. Local government election holds in 5,863 polling units in Delta State. Kenyan forces kill 4 Al-Shabaab terrorists in counter-terrorism operation. Details in a moment. And now the news in detail. 22 persons have been confirmed dead and over 120 persons trapped at the Saint Academy building located in the Busa-Buji community in Plateau State. The state government expressed sadness over the incident, blaming the school's weak structure and unsafe location. Rescue efforts are ongoing, with many injured students and teachers evacuated to hospitals. The government has also ordered hospitals to prioritize treatment without documentation or payment. The State Emergency Management Agency has confirmed that casualty figures, with 13 dead at Bingham University Teaching Hospital and 4 at Plateau Specialist Hospital. Over 40 people are receiving treatment at Ola Specialist Hospital. The government has urged schools with similar structural issues to close down to prevent further incidents. Our correspondent, Chizoba Anionwe, who is accompanying Governor Caleb Mutfwang on his visit to survivors at the hospital, will provide us updates in our subsequent bulletin. In the same vein, a section of the 2-story Al-Halal apartment building in Abuja collapsed an hour ago, trapping many inside. 2 individuals have been evacuated and rushed to the hospital. Rescue efforts are ongoing. Now, originally a hospital, the building had been converted into apartments. Security personnel, FRSC and NEMA are on site working on or to rescue those trapped. The cause of the collapse remains unclear, but no fatalities have been reported so far. For update on this, our correspondent Joshua Imarai has update. Hello, Joshua. What can you tell us about the building collapse?
Well, hello from Abuja, Dashen. According to residents in this area, that said the event actually occurred, rather the rubble or the collapse occurred in the early hours of today at 6:58 a.m. where the building collapsed. They saw the building collapsing, and before now they said they were hearing sounds of rumblings, sounds of crackling, sounds of sand coming down from the building. And the residents of the building, they rushed out, and in awe they saw the building collapsing. Now currently rescue effort has been ongoing, and they've rescued at least 4 people from the rubble. There are unconfirmed information as to who is still inside there, but I have somebody, an eyewitness, who witnessed the entire situation as it unfolded. I would like to bring the person forward to speak with me. Sir, can you briefly tell us what has been ongoing, the updates? Has there been any precedence to this situation?
Yeah, we woke up early this hour to hear noise of people shouting, "Runner, runner, the building is collapsing." My house is just beside the collapsed building. So when we rushed out, we saw a lot of people running helter-skelter, and the sound of heavy debris falling from the building. Everywhere was dusty, and the whole building went down. So we made series of calls to rescue organizations. Police came, NEMA were here, road safety, and what a few. And a few hours later, the rescue team from NEMA came with a payloader who is actually working on, and 2 or 3 people have been rescued from the debris of the falling building now.
Before now, the development authorities of this area, have they had any issue with this particular building?
Yeah, I gathered that a series of complaints has been made about the house showing some sign of cracking on it, and that the landlord was intimidated. But I don't actually know effort being done to us to see how to rescue that.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
God bless you.
So according to the man I just spoke with, he said there have been warnings by the development authority of this area that there are specific errors with this particular building. And this building has been a multi-purpose building, which was first a hotel, then converted into a hospital, and now a residential apartment. And they said, according to what I gathered so far, they said there were signs that this building was going to cave in any moment from now. And this is just what we are seeing. Basically, this has raised a question to the structural integrity test of buildings in Abuja. As it is raining, we might see the rain testing some of this building to see how stable or how solid they are.
Well, Joshua, I know you did say that you're not sure of how many people are trapped in the building, but do you have an idea of the estimated number of people that were in the building at the time of collapse?
That I cannot tell you because they said people ran out. But what I confirmed so far, that 3 people has been rescued from the building. We are yet to confirm if there's any casualty, and if there is any, we'll update you.
All right. Now, speaking of rescue, can you tell us what the current situation is as regards rescue efforts at the moment? Are the rescuers, are there any challenges that they're facing at the moment?
Well, the only challenge the rescuers experienced so far was crowd control. There were so many people in the building, they had to usher everybody out. Even the pressmen were ushered out. They said they don't want anybody who is not on personal protective equipment around the building because there were fears that the worst might happen. However, currently, we have men of the Nigerian police force on ground, many of the civil defense corps on ground, even men of the vigilante group of Nigeria, they are here. Even men of the road safety commission too, they are here. So all hands are on deck. We can see behind me, as you can see, there's a crane working on. There's a crane working on that building and trying to see if there's anybody in the building. And so far, we can say for sure that the rescue effort is going well.
All right. Well, let's hope that everyone is rescued safe from the building and in no time. Thank you so much, Joshua, for speaking to us on this. Away from that, 5,863 polling units, talking about the election of council chairmen and councillors that would hold today in the polling units. That's about 5,863. The State Commissioner of Police, Obaniwanda Olufemi, has actually led the Deputy Commissioner of Police Operations, the Squadron Commander 31 PMF, and DPOs across the 25 local government areas to the Central Bank of Nigeria office in Asaba Delta State for the inspection of local government election materials. The visit is also to ensure safe escort of sensitive and non-sensitive materials to the various local government areas in the state. Earlier, Governor of the state, that Sheriff Oborewori, cast his vote and spoke on the latest Supreme Court's judgment granting autonomy to local government.
That this election is free and fair. I've been up since, monitoring the process, and now I'm here to cast my vote. I've casted my vote, and we're sure I will be victory of PDP by the grace of God. Then on the issue of the judgment, Supreme Court have given judgment. But you can see that we believe in that same process. That's why when I came in, I did not constitute a transition committee. Not here in Delta State. I'm not in support of transition committee, and the HPM are the one handling the place, and they were given 3 months, and so they enable us to do election. And today, by the grace of God, we are doing our election today. By early next week, those won.
Our correspondent, Austin Azu, now joins me on the news for an update on this. Austin, what update do you have for us at the moment?
Currently, I'm at Ward 4, Unit 15, here in Efrun in Delta State. Behind me are some of the voters who have cast their votes. And you can see from here, you can see the ballot box already filled up with ballot papers. So it means some persons have arrived earlier on to cast their votes. But of course, don't forget to that we had a heavy downpour this morning that started the process. So to bring out with speed of what has happened at this unit, I have Sheriff Ishaka to tell us more of it. Sheriff Ishaka, let's meet you. Tell us, despite the heavy downpour, how did you guys manage to conduct this election here?
Yeah, despite the heavy downpour this morning,
we all came out from our various houses to come and do what is needful. And the voting was how do I call it? The INEC people, they were here in time. I think we were here about 15 minutes to 8. We started voting by 8:15 next morning. And others were coming, but now the weather is clear. But no, despite that heavy downpour, we were able to come out en masse to come and cast our vote. And the thing was smooth and nice. I say kudos to the INEC officials and those some of us that come out from our various places to come and cast our vote.
All right, thank you. Okay, it means that the election started here quite earlier, despite the downpour, and it means that very soon, from now to 3 p.m., expected that the voting 2 p.m. that the voting will end. So it means that they will start the sorting of this ballot box and start counting of the papers. Thereafter, declare the result at these polling units.
Okay, Austin. Now, how about any violent incidents? Have there been any violent incidents reported? What about security presence? How tight is it? Hello, Austin. Can you hear me? Okay, Austin, if you can hear me, well, I just asked what security situation is like. Have there been reports of any violent incidents, security presence at the polling units? Go ahead and tell us. Are they visible and are they engaged with the voters?
Of course, some of the feelers we are getting at the moment that some places have not gotten their voting materials up to now, and we hope to get there as soon as possible to get the details of why voting materials have not arrived. But the places we have gone to so far, their voting is ongoing, so there's no any security glitches at the moment. We have the presence of security personnel armed about 200 meters away from the polling unit, and we have other security personnel who are equally stationed close to the ballot box to ensure that there's full law and order on grounds at the polling units.
All right, Austin, what about long queues or, technical issues with voting materials? Are there any reports on that? That's for those who have started voting.
From the two wards we have gone to, one in Okpe local government and the other one here at Uwe local government, it seems the voting materials arrived on time. Don't forget to that yesterday they dispatched the sensitive materials and not sensitive materials from the CBN head office here in the state from Asaba to the various local government areas. So definitely they might have arrived here since yesterday at their local government, at their rack centers, and onward distribution to the polling units earlier this morning. So no issues of delay in materials apart from the heavy downpour of rain, a downpour this morning that caused the delay in the voting process.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Austin, for that update, and we wish you best of luck in the elections. Away from that, the new Nigerian People's Party has changed its logo following misrepresentation during the 2023 general elections. The national leader of the party, while unveiling its new logo, flag, and amended constitution to the public in Abuja, says that mistakes in printing during the 2023 general elections created challenges for the party and its supporters, as the logo was not properly printed on the voting slips like other parties. He said that misrepresentation tremendously affected the party, as it represented or presented difficulties for supporters to identify the logo on the ballot papers.
That we now have new color, which is very conspicuous, which by the end of the day will be very clear on any ballot paper. Unlike what we have seen in the 2023 election, when people went, including my humble self, we could not identify our logo. Now even a blind man with very little assistance will know NNPP now on the ballot paper. So we are very happy. We are very grateful to the leadership of the party for this initiative, and we are equally very grateful to INEC for approving our request.
The news returns after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. A coalition of about 30 Muslim organizations in Nigeria have called on the Sokoto state government to discontinue alleged plans to dethrone the Sultan of Sokoto. The coalition spoke to newsmen in the nation's capital, Abuja, saying that a bill to amend the Sultanate Council law in Sokoto State has been hurriedly passed by the State House of Assembly and will create a crisis if assented to by the government. Marvelous Obomanu tells us more.
The Sultanate Council of Sokoto is regarded as one of Nigeria's most prestigious religious and traditional institutions in Nigeria. The council, formed by the Sultan Muhammad Bello Usman Danfodio during the 19th century, is well older than the nation itself. While there have been speculations that an impasse currently exists between the Sultanate Council and the Sokoto state government, this coalition of over 30 Muslim organizations are alleging that plans have been hatched to dethrone the Sultan. They have raised an alarm calling for caution and urging the Sokoto state government to exercise restraint.
Recent events have led to an attempt to undermine the influence and authority of our revered Sultan of Sokoto and President General of Nigeria Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, Alhaji Muhammad Saad Abubakar III, with some even suggesting a plot by the government of Sokoto State to depose him.
They say the dethronement will create a crisis among Muslim faithful in Nigeria and also create a vacuum, especially in sister countries where the Sultan has influence.
Dethroning this great personality will not be in the best interest of Sokoto State, its government, and the great people of Sokoto State. Above all, it will bring about a great disservice, disrepute, and dishonor to the Muslim Ummah of this country. We will not stand idly by while our beloved Sultan and the throne he occupies, which is more than 200 years old, are unfairly targeted.
So most of them have been contributing seriously to the stability, peaceful coexistence of the Nigerian populace as a whole. So it's not that maybe they are participating in partisan politics, but they have been playing the role as father to all in the society. Unfortunately, when a government comes in and it goes, when another new one comes in, they normally tag them as if maybe they supported the outgone administration, which is not the same.
They are calling on the federal government to intervene in the crisis and protect the nation's traditional institutions.
It is high time that the federal government, through the National Assembly, look at the way how to accommodate the traditional institution in the Nigerian constitution, because they have participated and they have contributed greatly to most of these constitutional conferences that have been held in the past.
What we as Muslim Ummah expect from the Sokoto state government and Governor Ahmad Aliyu is to further strengthen and reinforce the power and influence of His Eminence Sultan Muhammad Saad Abubakar CFR and the Sultanate.
The Kano state government had earlier repealed the Kano Emirates Council law, which has created a crisis in the state. This coalition of several Muslim organizations are calling on the Sokoto state government to avoid a repeat. This coalition of several Muslim organizations are calling on the Sokoto state government to prevent a similar impending crisis in Sokoto state. In Abuja for News Central, Marvelous Obomman.
It is the lack of integrity that manifests in corrupt activities by individuals. Executive Chairman of the EFCC, Ola Olukoyede, stated this during the Lagos Leadership Conference on Friday. The conference sought to reduce the integrity deficit in Nigeria and bring closer good governance to the masses. The EFCC chairman urged those in authority to lead not by words, but by manifesting integrity in their actions.
But integrity is not really standing here to read or to preach. we do this every time. It's a matter of demonstrating what you stand for. That's integrity. We can talk about all the principles. I have my paper prepared, but I think it's important to share a few things with you. The major problems or the great albatross we have in our system is what we're talking about now. The issue of integrity. Because if you don't have integrity, there's no way you will not be corrupt. Corruption is a seed of integrity. I mean, it's a seed of lack of integrity. So I asked myself, what am I going to do different from the past 4 chairmen? And the first thing I did, that no other chairman of EFCC has ever done, was to declare my assets.
Let's now tell you that the Nigeria's federal government has commenced the conversion of 1 million vehicles from petrol to compressed natural gas as part of an intensive energy transition plan. The Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative says that the federal government aims to achieve this by 2027 and has provided subsidies for commercial vehicle operators to benefit from the project. Amadin Uyi reports.
Car technicians working at a compressed natural gas center in Abuja. The center is part of several workshops in partnership with the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative, implementing a presidential mandate to increase the use of compressed natural gas across the country. Members of the initiative took an inspection tour across its partner workshops to review their operations.
Today we are here to commemorate the conversion of commercial vehicles from petrol to CNG. As you're well aware, Mr. President has given us a mandate, and that mandate is clear. The train has left the station, and we are following through. 1 million cars to be converted between now and 2027.
Today we are at Naseni Portland Conversion Center, where we have started conversion for commercial vehicles. The first one that we have seen is from the e-hailing cabs that are part of the conversion scheme.
They say subsidies have been made available to transport unions and commercial vehicle operators to support those that want to convert their vehicles from petrol to compressed natural gas.
For us at PCNGI, we are focused in ensuring that this mandate is met. As you have been going around with us in Abuja, we've gone through various locations. This is our 3rd location today, where we've showcased vehicles, commercial vehicles being converted from petrol to CNG.
The e-hailing cabs are supposed to pay a fraction of the cost of the conversion, while the transport associations have 100% conversion free and cost of the kits 100% free.
A chat with some of the technicians revealed that citizens have begun to adopt the initiative.
We have a lot of people coming in for inquiries, and because as you can see, it's a very big workshop for conversion, and people come here a lot to make inquiries on how the cost and if there are available kits for us. In a day we could do up to 15, yeah. In a day, yes, we can do up to 15 because it takes us about 2 hours to convert a vehicle.
The Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative is a component of President Bola Tinubu's palliative intervention directed at reducing the hardship being faced by citizens following the removal of petrol subsidy. In Abuja for News Central, I am Amadin Uyi.
Thank you, Amadin, for that report. Now to security matters. Over 277 individuals rescued by the Nigerian Army during its ongoing counter-terrorism efforts in the northeast have been handed over to the Plateau State government. Deputy Theatre Commander of the Joint Task Force Northeast, Major General Ken Chigbu, disclosed that the victims were rescued from the Sambisa Forest and the Chad Basin area. News Central's Umari Kirawa has the details.
A breath of freedom has finally reached those who have endured the captivity of Boko Haram terrorists in Sambisa Forest. Among the 277 rescued are 128 women and 149 children.
The mandate of the Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hadinkai is to return normalcy and restore socioeconomic activities within the Northeast region. To do this, we have a two-pronged approach. One is the kinetic operations, and the second one is the non-kinetic operations. And as every professional military, we are combining both operations. And what you are witnessing here today is the larger part of the non-kinetic operations.
The survivors of the insurgency are welcomed with open arms by the Borno State government as they begin their journey towards rehabilitation.
We are going to provide them with services like mental health and psychosocial support, family tracing for the unaccompanied and separated children, livelihood program for the women and children, and other related services that we do provide there. So for the unaccompanied, we are very soon now, when we take them to Bonomputu, we are going to foster them to the foster parents which are working together with us and the metro, so that they can take care of them before reintegrating them back to the community. And once again, I still thank the military for their effort.
The government acknowledged the military's ongoing efforts and detailed the support services that will be provided to the rescued individuals. The people now hope to witness the end of the long-standing insurgency with stability and progress on the horizon. In Maiduguri for News Central, Umaru Kirawa.
The challenges faced by visually impaired students, especially in higher institutions, have long been highlighted. While some institutions have shown improvement, much more still needs to be done. To address these issues, members of the National Association of Visually Impaired Students are making their voices heard, urging others to join in making a difference. In this next report, News Central's Bernard Akede tells us more from the University of Lagos.
Students in higher institutions who have physical disabilities face numerous challenges that cannot be overemphasized. These challenges range from gaining admission and paying fees to navigating unfriendly terrains and accessing study materials, amongst others. In an effort to address these challenges, the UNILAG chapter of the National Association of Visually Impaired Students has organized this program to make a difference.
Is to sensitize, orientate the general public about the activities that persons with disability, especially people with visual impairment, what they've been doing extraordinarily and how they've been striving in the society, but there is little attention or no recognition. And this is the avenue to inform and ensure that the proper perspective is set outside there.
Because these students are unique, they require special attention in all aspects, particularly in their studies. Therefore, it is essential to provide them with the focused care they need.
The University of Lagos is really doing their best in ensuring that these students are well integrated in the system and they are able to perform like their counterparts. But much still needs to be done in terms of removing all sorts of barriers.
When they go to class, they have materials to read. You know, they're giving materials like their other sighted counterparts. Now, the materials they have to read those materials and prepare for tests, assignments, exams, like every other students. They bring those materials to us, and we scan and convert. It could be into Braille, it could be into audio.
While schools strive to create a conducive learning environment for students with disabilities, there is a pressing need for increased government effort to ensure inclusivity, both within education institutions and in the society.
It's important that the states, make deliberate, conscious effort, like the principle I gave about bursary for blind students. If investment can be made in our universities, for instance, my faculty doesn't have a lift, and there are people living with disability who have to be virtually carried to be able to get one step or the other. What will it take for the university to make that available?
It is hoped that sooner than later, visually impaired students in Nigeria will be as well equipped as their peers in developed countries and ready to face whatever challenges the world throws at them. In Lagos for News Central, I'm Bernard Akide.
Coming up after the break, Kenyan forces kill 4 Al-Shabaab terrorists. We'll bring you details in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back. Kenyan security forces have killed 4 Al-Shabaab terrorists and seized a substantial weapons cache near the Somalia border in a significant counter-terrorism operation. The intelligence-led mission carried out by a multi-agency security team in Banisa sub-county, Mandera, marks another crucial victory in Kenya's ongoing war against terrorism and underscores the country's increasingly sophisticated approach to national security. The operation resulted in the recovery of a deadly arsenal, including a rocket-propelled grenade launcher, 4 RPG warheads, a PKM machine gun, 3 AK-47 rifles, 7 AK-47 magazines, 5 pistols each with a magazine and 5 mobile phones. 8 additional militants reportedly escaped with injuries, and security forces are actively pursuing them, leveraging advanced tracking techniques and cross-border cooperation. Kenya's police watchdog is investigating whether there was any police involvement in the gruesome discovery of mutilated bodies dumped in a Nairobi dump site. The Independent Police Oversight Authority is also looking into claims of abduction and unlawful arrests of demonstrators who went missing after widespread anti-government protests. Police initially said the severely mutilated bodies of 6 women tied up in plastic bags were found on Friday, dumped at a garbage site in an abandoned quarry in Mukuru in the south of the capital. The IPOA said in a statement later that the remains of at least 9 people had been recovered, 7 of them female, and called for swift investigations to identify them. Kenyan police are under sharp scrutiny after dozens of people were killed during the last demonstrations last month, with rights group accusing officers of using excessive force. Up north, Algerians have been reacting to President Abdelmadjid Tebbouni's intention to seek a second term in an election set for September. Tebbouni, who is 78, was elected in 2019 with 58% of the vote following months of pro-democracy protests. Tebbouni, accused of leading a crackdown on dissent since mass protests in 2019, recently announced that he will seek a second term. In March, he announced that the presidential election will be held on September 7th, 3 months ahead of the schedule.
خدم البلاد وان شاء الله الدوزيام موندا يطلع ان شاء الله. واش نقول لك يعني راه واقف. انا نتمناه يعني يفتح شويه الشركات اللي جون يعني يخدموا. لازم يدير هذا الشيء هذا يعني. اللي جانا مضايعين.
ان شاء الله يا اخويا انا ماذا بينا يا تبون يسقم البلاد ان شاء الله. ان شاء الله يفوت لنا كاع الشغل تاعنا هذا مكان. هذا واش نحبوا منه. هذا هو الميساج اللي نلعبوه.
هو يعني في 3 سنوات ولا 4 سنوات ما تقدرش دير واش كاين، ولكن الحمد لله كما نقولوا ما رحناش المديونيه والاستقرار في البلاد والامن، وهذا واش الانسان واش يطلب. بقات لنا الا بعض الشروط. احنا المشكل في الجزائر عندنا قضيه تاع الشباب، يعني تشغيل الشباب كما نقولوا هنا. ماذا بينا الدوله دير مؤسسات يعني بتشغل الشباب هذو باش نقضيو على البطاله.
Thousands of supporters of Bolivian President Luis Arce marched in La Paz on Friday to condemn a recent attempted military coup and show support for the president. The protesters, including workers, indigenous people and peasants, Arce addressed the crowd, saying the coup attempt was driven by economic interest and a desire to control Bolivia's natural resources. The attempted coup on June 26th was thwarted, and 22 people, including military personnel and civilians, have been arrested.
El pueblo sale a las calles a defender la democracia, hermanos. Eso es lo que los golpistas tienen que escuchar desde aquí, desde Plaza Murillo. Que el pueblo boliviano no va a dejar pasar a los golpistas, hermanas, hermanos. Siempre detrás de un golpe de Estado hay intereses económicos y siempre en nuestro país hemos tenido que enfrentar golpes de Estado por querernos arrebatar nuestros recursos naturales, por querer estratégicamente y por geopolítica arrebatarnos lo que nos significa para nosotros el motor del desarrollo y el crecimiento.
Evo Morales ejerce de comandante de la troika opositora, asistido por su grupo de fanáticos.
The Central Bank of Nigeria on Friday intervened in the foreign exchange market by selling the sum of $122.67 million to 46 authorized dealers in its determination to promote stability and reduce market volatility in the market. According to a statement signed by Omolara Duke, CBN's director in charge of financial markets, disclosed that of the total sale, $67.5 million was sold to 27 authorized dealers, while the sum of $2.5 million was bought from one authorized dealer on July 10, 2024. The range of the bid for the July 10, 2024 sales was 1,480 naira per 1,005 per US dollar, and then 1,500 naira per US dollar, while the value date for the payment, going by the settlement cycle of 2 days, is July 12, 2024. Similarly, on July 11, 2024, the sum of $55.17 was sold to 19 authorized dealers at 1,540 naira per dollar, and no FX was purchased. The value date for the payment of the spot sale is July 15, 2024. Still in business, the government of Ghana will borrow 17.4 billion Ghana cedis in July 2024, and an 18.8% increase over that of June 2024. This will require an average weekly bid of 3.5 billion Ghana cedis to refinance maturing bills. In the past 2 months, post-cash reserve requirement, there had been an average weekly bid size of 4.1 billion Ghana cedis. This suggests scope for the Treasury to raise new money worth 3.2 billion Ghana cedis in July 2024. Last week, investors continued to favor the shorter end of the yield curve, with the 91-day bill raking in 2.5 billion Ghana cedis as against 2.3 billion Ghana cedis in the previous week, closing at a marginal decrease of 24.79%. The 182-day bill followed suit at 26.75%, representing a 5 basis points drop in yield, while the 364-day bill remained unchanged at 27.79%. The Treasury accepted all bids covering estimated maturities valued at 2.76 billion Ghana cedis. Super Eagles defender Olisanda was on target for Orlando Pirates as his team were held to a 2-2 draw by English outfit Plymouth Argyle in their pre-season friendly held at Banus Football Center in Marbella on Friday night. The opener came for the Buccaneers as Plymouth failed to make a clearance deep inside their territory, allowing Evidence Magbokpa guide the ball home. The English side, however, hit back almost immediately, with teenage striker Freddie Saka drawing them level in the 40th minute. Nda restored the lead within 3 minutes as he capitalized on another defensive mix-up from the English side. In the 63rd minute, the Pilgrims drew level via Calcum right with an easy tap-in from Ibrahim Sissoko assist. Nigerian jumper Ruth Usoro finished in pole position in the women's long jump of the Ed Murphy Classic in Memphis. On jumping 6.70 meters, Usoro had just 2 legal jumps, and it was only her first competition since she won the triple jump event at the African Games 4 months ago. Shanice Porter of Jamaica came in second with 6.50 meters, while Tyra Gittins of Trinidad and Tobago was in third with 6.35 meters. Usoro's effort serves as a morale booster for the student at Texas Tech University, who was earlier this week named as part of the Nigerian team for the 2024 Paris Olympic. Still talking about the Paris Olympic, Dutch athlete Sifan Hassan will compete in 4 events at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. Hassan will compete in the marathon, the 1,500 meters, the 5,000 meters, and 10,000 meters, according to entry lists published by World Athletics. The 2-time Olympic gold medalist could be scratched from any of the races before the Games kick off on 26 July. An officially start list will only be available on the eve of the Olympics. The ambitious potential agenda has caught the eye of track fans after Hassan competed in the 1,500, 5,000 and 10,000 at the Olympics in Tokyo, winning the longer distance races and settling for bronze in the 1,500. Hassan also proved a lethal factor in the marathon, winning in London and breaking the tape in Chicago in the second fastest performance of all time in 2023. And that's all at this hour. But before we go, let's take another look at some of our top stories. We told you that 22 pupils killed, scores trapped in Plateau school building collapse. We also told you that local government election holds in 5,863 polling units in Delta State. You also heard that Kenyan forces killed 4 Al-Shabaab terrorists in counter-terrorism operations. Send your eyewitness report to the WhatsApp number on the screen. Do follow us on social media. We are at News Central TV. You can watch News Central live on DSTV channel 422, StarTimes channel 274, Avo TV, and YouTube. Many thanks for watching. I'm Dashen. Usman.